Good evening, everyone. Tonight is a workshop meeting of the Village Board of Trustees. Call us to order and ask the clerk to make a roll call, please.
Trustee Hall.
Okay.
Trustee Posey.
Here.
Trustee Bardet.
Present.
Trustee Tweaks.
Present.
Mayor Foley.
I'm here. Okay, announcements. So, Senator Rollison, is leading a food drive all across this district. I believe it's part of
National Canned Food Month.
National Cat Food Month. So he has asked to partner with the village and have folks, we'll get this up on the website and send it out, drop off unexpired and non-perishable food at Village Hall. And we'll make sure it gets delivered to the food pantry on a weekly basis through the month of February.
Food pantry on Academy Street.
Yes, thank you. The food pantry on Academy Street. It's hosted at the now called the Church of the Open Door on Academy Street, just off Cherry. Any other announcements?
No.
No, we talked about that last week. Storm. It feels like a blur. Like, did I thank Bugsy for the storm?
Yeah.
I did. Okay. First up is approval, if everyone agrees, to the revised letter to the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation regarding the Hudson Highlands Fjord Trail FVEIS. This version incorporates feedback from our discussion last week, specifically requesting a supplemental environmental impact statement, and stating that we, as an involved agency, intend to make our own findings. Discussion. Hearing none, someone like to make a motion to approve me to sign and submit the letter?
Back to motion.
Second?
To approve and sign the letter.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let's do that. Next up, discussion of proposal to hire consulting water and wastewater department operator. I can't remember if we had these discussions before or after Tony took his seat. So just a very quick review. Our second licensed operator took a job with another municipality. We need to have two to meet DEC requirements. We have one of our employees currently taking training. Who will be certified in June once he finishes his training. And so for the interim bridge, it's been recommended that we have a consulting operator. We have identified that person, Ryan Carroza. He has served in that capacity before, in between second operators. It's a small fee. He's available as needed, so it's only if not, or one of the other team members needs to call him. He's not physically on site unless he's needed to come on site. It's a small fee. It's $300 a month that we pay to him, and so he needs to have a level of general liability and workers' comp, and was not worth his time for $300 to get that coverage on his own. So we looked at, with our insurance agency, bringing him on under village coverage, adding him under village coverage. So the documentation that you have encompasses the multiple policies that we need to put together, and they have to meet state requirements. And the total of them all together is $2,631.03.
That's for the insurance?
That's for the insurance, for the general liability and workers' comp.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But remember, we're not paying that position. We moved someone up internally. Mm-hmm. And so the higher price tag, I guess, the higher paid employee has been out. So we have savings from there that will cover this. Because he's gone. Any other discussion?
And if we need Brian to come on site or
Yes.
Like,
He's
and
on
we
call.
pay, and then we pay him per hour.
I think so. Let me look at the contract. So the first thing, we have this, the insurance, and then the second part of the conversation is the contract.
Okay, all right, then the whole.
I have a
motion.
question.
I would,
Kathleen?
Yes.
So it says that, it can be terminated within 5 days at a certain point in time, but the policy is for 12 months. So if it was to be, say, cancelled after 8 months, would we get a credit on the policy?
You I didn't, go ahead.
Usually the policies are based on how much the payroll was. But not the liability as far as workers' comp goes. Liability is gonna pay when they receive money again. Workers' comp is based upon the amount of money he was paid. That's my understanding in the private world. Municipal might be different, but I don't think so.
It's not a question that I asked.
Mhm.
I'm being honest, I didn't ask it. I was just, for me, it's, we need to get this guy insured and we
Sure,
need to have him to comply with DEC requirements. Do you feel comfortable? I feel comfortable proceeding because we need to get him on. Do you have concerns about proceeding without that question answered?
No.
Would someone like to so first make a motion on, payment for the premium of $2,631.03.
Can we just check that number, because
Yes, I have it from Kieran Boyle.
okay.
Hi, Mayor Foley, the total annual premium for all coverages combined is $2,631.03. And we secured this from two different carriers. AmTrust is the carrier for general liability, and Workers' Comp, and Lloyd's is the carrier for professional liability.
So I'm just correcting that in the agenda. It says 266203.
Oh, yeah, so it does. Okay, someone like to make a motion first regarding the insurance.
Sure. I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign to approve the payment for the insurance coverage policy in the amount of $2,603 $31.03.
Yes.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then the next is the details of contract with him. He'll be, once all of the insurance is in place, once I sign and we get the certification back, then he can come on board officially. So this would take place as soon as that process is done. Kieran thought it could be taken care of by the end of the week. The modification of this from the first time, I can't remember if we looked at it in public or if it just got circulated. This consultant agreement identifies that the village will pay the cost of the premiums for the insurance policies. That's the only change from the original draft. Discussion.
Looking at the policy here, there's an estimated policy, 200, and add everything on top of that, where it comes out to 1961.88.
There are several documents in the packet that have numbers. That's why I asked the question, if Karen, please confirm the total, because there are several pages that have totals on them.
Because that price might go down or up if they say estimate. What they do is they say estimated, and then they do a background check, and the underwriters look at it, and they come back and say, this is your policy.
Okay, so we've just approved.
When-
I asked the insurance carrier to confirm the total of the policies. As your point, it's total of estimates. That total confirmed by him is $2,631.03. That is what was just moved, seconded, and approved.
Good.
So now thank you for the clarification, we're on the consultant agreement. Discussion of the consultant agreement. Okay, someone like to make a motion so that I can sign?
I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the contract with operator Ryan Rosa as a wastewater treatment plant operator. Or as a consultant to the wastewater treatment plant.
Yes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, I guess. Over the fastest board meeting ever. Okay. You do hold that record. Okay, so the next item relates to LoSAP and Penflex. This is the retirement benefits that our volunteer firefighters have the opportunity to accrue with a certain number of calls and service hours through the year. There are really two pieces to this. So this is the part two. Last month, we approved requesting the fire company to post the list of hours earned, points earned under LoSAP in the firehouse for 30 days.
That's actually this that we're approving tonight. Last month, we approved the hiring of Penflex to be the actuarial representative to do the defined benefit program.
Has this not been posted in the firehouse already? It's
No.
30 days?
It's always posted in the firehouse. This is the moment where you guys say, yeah, okay, this is fine. Let's go back and post it for another 30.
So go back and post it for another 30. I misunderstood. I thought it had already been posted for 30. The document we're talking about is not a public document because it has private information about the fire committee members. So, but all right, then I need to ask for clarification, Madam President.
That's why I'm saying.
I have a question. Who audits this? Was it Pendaflex or Penflex?
Who audits how many hours? It's a self-audit, and that's part of where I was going with this questioning.
Okay.
Because this piece also ties back to the local tax credit that we enabled under local law last year. The fire company certifies their hours, and there is a definition of what constitutes an active member, both for LoSAP and for the tax credit. So the green page that you have is the certification form. And a member of the firehouse, is Donna an officer?
She's the director.
She's the director. Okay, so she certifies that the documentation is correct and is required that it be certified under oath and submitted to the program sponsor for approval by March 31st, and a notary has to witness the signature. So she is saying, this is correct. Now this gets posted officially in the firehouse for 30 days.
We're the
We-
sponsor.
And we are the sponsor. So we are approving sending it there.
We're accepting the fire company's certification of this roster because these benefits are based on service, hours of service. And so the fire company has certified this. They're sending it to us. We're sending it back to the fire company at this point to post for 30 days. So each member of the fire company can see, and just if there are any discrepancies, they can be corrected before it gets sent to Penflex.
Okay, so it will come back to us. What are we signing the sponsor form? Are we agreeing to sign the sponsor form tonight? Or we are accepting this, waiting the 30 days, and then we sign the sponsor form?
You're
This is
accepting it and signing it.
and signing it, okay. The reason this is, well, among the reasons this is important is that these numbers, once final, after review for 30 days, now get certified to the town assessor, who extends the tax credit, the local tax credit, to active members of the fire company who have earned enough LoSAP credits. So the two things work together. So you're looking for, this is all of us, it has been laid out for all of us to sign, which is different than in the past. And I think that part of that may be the way it's being reformatted in process for the local tax credit. So there really isn't a motion if we are each signing this tonight. Go ahead.
I don't remember what we did last year.
We did not have to each sign. We passed a motion.
Pretty sure last year, the only person who had signed was Kathleen.
Yeah.
Right.
You passed a motion here and authorized me to sign. This year it's set up as all of us signing.
But I think last year, it came down to you guys. You guys looked at it and said, okay, send it back. So it got sent back, and then when it came down the final time.
Yes,
That's
then it
where
was
the.
me.
Right.
It's a slightly different process. Any concerns? I realize it's a lot. Any concerns or questions Does anyone feel like they need more information? We have the president here if there are questions that haven't been answered.
I just got one, one question. Does this cost village money?
LoSAP?
Yeah.
Yes,
So we're paying these benefits?
we pay the benefit
Mm,
for the
now, is
volunteer firefighters.
that's based upon every year what the hours are, then
That's
they
right.
okay.
That's right, and there is, we pay Penflex, a company, to
Figure
to
it out.
monitor and administer.
Mhm.
So we certify, we go through this process every year
Mhm.
of certifying calls answered and hours earned. Points earned, excuse me. And Penflex then administers out to the volunteer firefighters. So the fire company needs to say to us, we confirm that these are the folks who have met the requirements to earn the points they need for LoSAP this year.
50 points.
50 points.
50 points. The way the fire company is set up, to be an active firefighter in the fire company, you have to make 25 points a year. To reach the benefit factor, you have to make 50.
So you have to get a minimum of 50 points to qualify.
For the LoSAP.
And just one further simple clarification question. What's the difference between active and entitled status?
Entitled means they're eligible. They're already eligible to collect their benefits, I believe.
Collecting.
Yes, or they're collecting. So
Oh,
when you reach the age of 62,
mm-hmm.
you can collect your LoSAP.
Oh, okay. And then active is you're still active, but you're not actually collecting the benefit because you haven't aged in.
It's a defined benefit program.
Okay, thank you.
So like, I've been there for 30 years. This is my 30th year.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 29 years of credit
Mm-hmm.
already into the program. It takes you 5 years to get vested.
Okay.
All right. So I have 29 years already
Mm-hmm.
vested in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If I keep going until I'm 62, which would be another
That's
8 years. Okay. Then I'll have 37 years or something like that.
Okay.
All right. And like I said, like Kathleen was explaining, we make our points through different things. So like fire calls,
Mm-hmm.
you have to make 10% of the fire calls for the year in order to get the points for the fire calls, which is 25.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then the other points are collected from meetings, drills, work details,
Mm-hmm.
funerals, officers' points. I get officers' points since I'm the president. And stuff like training points. So I think if you look on there, I think I have something like 98 points. 98 points for the year.
I was gonna comment on how many people are dramatically above 50 and
But if you look at mine, Kathleen, you'll see that there's,
90.
yeah, but if you also see the columns, I don't know, I can't remember how it shows you the maximum for each column. So I automatically got 25 points because I made 10% of the calls. I probably maxed out on meetings. I possibly maxed out on committees. I think I have 1 point for fire prevention.
What is
We don't have that.
You don't have that
detail.
information? No, okay. Yeah, so there's you max out on a certain categories. So like meetings, I think the maximum number of meetings you'll get points for is 20.
we don't need to go into
Yeah,
deep
that's-
detail about,
Okay.
the point is that you get credits toward your participation on calls and meetings, in training, in community service, et cetera. What I don't want us to lose sight of in the conversation is these are all volunteers, and this is one of the ways that they get a benefit from serving us, and saving taxpayer a great deal of money by being a volunteer company. So we have provided this retirement plan for many years. It's not new. I would like to acknowledge that there's a very high number of folks who are point earners this year, and I'm very proud of them. So what we are doing tonight is agreeing that we have received this document, and then it will come back to us in 30 days to submit to Penflex. So I don't think we need to do a resolution because there is a signature for each of us, so if we can pass it down the line. Is everyone comfortable signing this document?
Can I just ask one more question?
Yep,
Sorry,
sure.
with this. So the village at a certain point in time will pay a premium towards this, will make contributions into this, but it's only the commitment, an annual commitment to do
That's what
that.
it's in our budget every year
Yeah.
to meet our LoSAP requirements,
Okay,
our LoSAP commitment, I should say.
that's budgeted.
That's budgeted every year.
Okay, thank you.
Based on the estimated roster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna sign it. And I'll pass it down the line. Who formatted this?
Who formatted
This
what?
came from Penn,
That
and
came
then
from
I
Penn.
put the names on it, because it just said trustee.
Yeah, so this is a change on their end. It's just surprising because it's not the way the three of us have kind of, same concept, but a different process.
We could also have done a resolution, a straight resolution, but
Okay, this works.
That one has to be correct.
No, this one does not have to. The fire company has to notarize because
there's.
the person signing this says, I swear under oath that this is correct.
Trust me, she does.
Cool.
Dawn is very meticulous when it comes to
That's ordered.
And got her materials in a timely manner, which we appreciate.
Oh, Tony, I signed on your line. No, just kidding.
Okay, you're my brother.
I will take this form and return it with the full packet to
Sounds good.
firefighter Dave.
Easily, yes.
In one of those days.
And I would just encourage board members, if you have questions about agenda items, please reach out. Feel free to reach out to either me or the clerk ahead of session so that we can use our time efficiently here in the evening. Okay, that one. Permit application is Lillian again. Yeah, the wedding at Dockside.
With my hat.
I take note that Lillian last year worked on an updated application. This got pulled, someone pulled it off I don't know if it's the old website or this website. The new Dockside application is much easier to read and deal with. So this should be the last time you're having to deal with the old format. We currently have permitting power over events at Dockside through our contract with New York State Parks, our management contract. That is why we are issuing the permit for this event. And talk us through it, Lillian.
So, Mr. Scott Barkin has requested the use of Dockside on June 6th, which is Saturday, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for his and his bride's wedding. I think there's about 30 to 40 people. I don't have the application in front of me, so
40 to 45.
40 to 45. He has made his payment. We did while we were doing the documentation again, notice that there was a discrepancy on how much he was supposed to pay. I did contact him, told him about the discrepancy, explained it to him, and he will be sending out a check within the next couple of days.
I would note that I did ask you, just for the board's edification, the new version does show tick boxes that steps have been done, vetting with police department, fire department, EMS, etc. I did ask Lillian, since they had turned in the old version, to document what she had done in her vetting process. So we have it. So we have an email from her communicating that she has run this past fire, EMS, and highway and police. Carry on, sorry.
No need to send in permit.
He needs to send in his
Like,
insurance,
Right.
his license plates and his,
Right.
but I will get that. You approve, and then I'll say, next step. Next step, I need your license plates, you need to have your insurance in within 30 days. And all that fun stuff.
I have one question we should ask. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it, Tony.
When we do events like this down there, is the park closed?
No.
So
Can't be. Under our contract, it can't be.
anybody can go in there.
Yep.
Figuring that most people will respect their space.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's part of the contract with New York State is that we can never close the park
Mhm.
completely. I have a question about its location. Is,
That's where they picked. I thought that was weird too, because
maybe
most people,
talk them through, this is right at the entrance?
Yeah.
And
Most
I don't know,
people-
maybe there are mobility issues that they can't get folks
Yes.
in, but they are allowed 10 cars
Mhm.
on the site.
Yep.
It matters not to me, but just let them know that the most beautiful part is
yeah,
further north.
most people go the other way.
Where are they gonna park? They're blocking the entrance.
They go.
That's why I'm asking about up here. There are parking, there's sort of parking along, not official parking, but cars get
No, I-
to put along here, along the driveway.
Most of the time, most of the weddings
And
that
they-
I've been down
and they
there. Right. Most of the weddings that I've been down there for, they usually are either where the old boat launch was, or they're down in that area and they're facing north.
Yeah, right into into Wingate.
They might not have understood that.
There are no bathrooms down there, so in the contract, they'll need to, if they need bathrooms, they'll need to provide them.
And they're not doing the tent. I know it says on there about the tent, there's a part on there about the tent application. They decided not to do the tent.
Okay,
We need motion to,
hang on, I have one more question, please. Yeah, go ahead, Laura.
While you're looking, the date is like the received last August.
Yeah.
Remember what happened?
Usually, and this is from the past, usually, when the rec committee was doing these,
Yeah.
they don't approve anything the year prior.
Remember we passed the new rec commission chapter in whenever that was, over the summer.
Uh-huh.
So it came in under the old process and we asked them, so we don't have anything on that date and we've received your application. Let us get past the ordinance so that you don't have to go through the rec commission and through the board.
Okay,
of
and
trustees.
now we don't have that, only that year requirement?
Not
only that year requirement?
So like next, moving forward,
So if someone submitted something now for 2027.
I would probably come back to the mayor and say to her, do you want to process this now? Or do you want me just to put the date down, hold the application, and then January of 27 do it?
My understanding was we wouldn't approve more than 6 months out because things are always changing and, the board.
So it's a combination of two things. It's a combination of us changing process. Because the rec commission ended up being not much rec and a lot of process around events that had to come to us anyway. And we had brought on an events coordinator so that we weren't relying on, but people who had been the rec chairs previously spent a lot of time managing events, like opening gates, unlocking, making sure things were cleaned up, making sure the garbage, it was just like the worst volunteer job ever. So we created the event coordinator position. It has been Lillian to date. And the second piece of that was by code, shifting event approval in the parks and village properties here so that it's not a double process. So that's the background of how we got to here. Yes, we have said 6 months out, and we'll get the new application draft out in front of us again it will be easier to follow in that one. Yeah, well, it's here. So that you can, it's more legible that way, but that's why it's so late. That was my only comment was they're not doing food and alcohol, they're just doing the wedding ceremony. Okay. I'm okay with it. Anyone else have any concerns?
No.
No.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to, accept the application for the Barkin Evans wedding ceremony, June 6th, 2026 at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Dockside Park.
Second. Favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then you'll communicate do you have the contact for the new park manager, Declan?
I've never had the park manager's information.
Just so that they know what's going on. I will make sure you have that. He is the interim manager. I think in the past, probably when it was with the rec, Jeff would send it to the previous director. On the record. Streamlined. Last is,
I'll just put it on the email that I sent out to fire even.
yes, exactly. Last is, trying to make the building permit process more user-friendly and clear. The building permit application has not been updated in a very long time. And you'll recall, or some of us will recall, that in the summer and the spring, we had some issues with projects that required permits for street opening or water and wastewater connection, not getting referred to the department heads and work proceeding without those permits having been in place. So the goal here was to include reference to water and wastewater and call it out right from the beginning on the application so that it gets into a stream that will result in a referral, just like to the zoning board and the planning board, to water and wastewater. So 3 pieces. The application checklist, I think, is a lot more helpful than it used to be. The actual building permit and the owner consent form, so that, for example, if a tenant is making an application, a commercial tenant's making an application, the owner of the building needs to say, yes, I'm down with this application. So I had one bit of feedback from Laura, which was helpful. Since we share with the town, I think it is confusing to people about what functions happen where. That you submit your application here, but the building department doesn't.
Even if that weren't the case, you don't know who has.
You don't know where to send it in, yeah.
You don't know where to submit it. You just need to be told where to send it.
And that's one of those things it's so obvious that when you've looked at it for so long, you don't see it.
Yeah,
So thank you for that.
I wouldn't have known it if we hadn't submitted it.
And it should be on the checklist and on the permit. Yeah, any other feedback on it?
The fees, should the fees be on here?
The fees are set by our fee schedule.
Right,
That's where they're memorialized, but we could reference them here.
yeah, because, some people might say, well, I'm not gonna pay that because I'll hold this project off. No, but just, it's good to know it for whoever's using it,
You mean
what it's gonna cost to do this.
the application fee?
Yeah.
I think
Usually
that,
it's based on a dollar amount, right? I think that's how
we do it a
town does
little differently in the village than
Oh,
in the
yeah.
town. And that is something that when we update our fee schedule, we need to look at.
Okay, I'm just, as long as whoever's doing the permit knows what they're getting into.
And well, this is part of why it's not here, because it needs to be reviewed and it needs to be updated. Right now, the application fee is flat, 75, which it will remain to submit the application for processing. We don't determine, the code enforcement office determines the actual costs of a permit. And it is based on the estimated dollar value of the project.
Yeah.
The town does it differently. The town does it by I think it's square footage. I couldn't remember which to measure. I think it's square footage. Greg, the code enforcement officer, has some things that he would like to talk us through to consider whether we want to do it the same as the town. But for now, it is as it is based on cost.
Okay,
That happens
that's fine.
after this comes in. We don't determine that. The code enforcement office does. So we can't put a line here that says, these are the costs you can expect. The only cost we know at the point of accepting an application permit is the permit application fee.
But it's a good point that that's not on here.
75
Does
bucks.
Yeah, that should
that
be,
should
I
be on
agree, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Just wanted to, it won't be a full
Yeah.
picture for anyone of what they can expect. That happens at Cedar Street. Okay, so I will make these modifications. We were trying to shift to we were trying to keep it on a single page.
So, minor typo, alternation.
Shrink the building.
Alternation. Yeah, or we can not have it on letterhead. we can figure it out. A way to do it, all right. Alternation, not what we need. Noting the $75 fee. And where to turn it in, right? Yeah.
And can you add a splash between HVAC and solar?
Finish what?
Solar and HVAC, right here.
It doesn't say anything about installation inspection.
Say that again?
Installation inspection,
What about it?
doesn't say anything here on.
It does, insulation.
It's under
I'm sorry.
required inspection.
Installation required inspections.
Oh, I jumped right over it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. A chunk of this is also setting expectations of what the process will look like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
for folks, because that.
Yeah, that's
not
important.
helpful. Anything else? Okay,
Yeah.
I will send it back around. And Abigail is making these into fillable PDFs. If only we could one day get to the point of submission electronically, that would be amazing. Someday we'll use less paper.
Was there anything to vote on that?
No, I just wanted to get your feedback. And now that I know what changes you want, we can bring back the finals. That's it. That's the end of our agenda. I would make a motion to adjourn. On favor? Aye.
7:37.
Fabulous.
I
Boom.
got a process question. If we're voting, nothing to do with it.
Wait, so-
Yeah,
So if we're asking, so we already have a
nothing
quorum.
to do on an issue, then that's a problem.
Okay, but we have a quorum right now. So if we're gonna be discussing something, we need to be open. We need to be in open.
Okay, I'll ask my question to the clerk later.
Okay.
Go on, clerk.
All right, so still 7:37.
You have plenty of time. Here's this